Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the mock interview series with UiPath Aspirant. For the people who are looking this series for the first time, in this series I am taking mock interview for candidate based on their resume, their experience and their skill set. Please note that this is just a mock interview. It is not for any client, any customer or any of the job opportunities. The format of the mock interview is absolutely simple. The candidate send me the resume. I set up some time. I take the mock interview and all the confidential details such as the name, the company name, the project information, everything remains confidential with me. Even the name which you see in the mock interview is changed. So you do not have to worry about any of the details. Once I receive the interview, I hide the details, we take the interview. At the end, I guide the candidate that what are the topics he needs to improve upon, and I also provide the feedback on the interview so that they can perform well in their live interview. In terms of cost, the cost of the mock interview is absolutely free for you. You don't have to pay me anything. You just have to send me your resume and we can set up a common time and I conduct a mock interview for you. In case your experience match this mock interview, you can go ahead and watch. But in case you are coming from a different experience, you can go back to the playlist. There we have a couple of mock interviews which are already taken. You can watch them, get some insight, and hopefully that should be helpful in your next interview. If you want to appear for such a mock interview, all you have to do is just drop me an email on the email ID which is available in the description. Having said that, let's get started with today's mock interview. Okay, so Harsha, I have your resume and today we are going to have a mock interview for you. Okay, so the format of
Yeah.
the mock interview would be simple. I would be asking question based on your resume. You have to answer me, and at the end of the interview, I would be telling you to the answers whichever you have answered incorrectly in case, and the areas which you need to improve upon, and how you can
Mhm.
improve on the real-time interview. Okay,
Okay.
so we can start by having a quick introduction about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hello, Mukesh. I have 4 years of experience in IT and 3.9 years of experience in UiPath. So, in my tenure, I had developed the automation processes like web automation, Excel automation, email automation, some desktop application also I have automated. And I do have knowledge on document understanding and web APIs, but I haven't got chance to work on those on in organization, but for the practice purpose I have done some mini projects on them as well. So that is all for my IT
Okay,
career.
okay. And have you done any kind of certification in UiPath?
Means not the paid certification but the diploma courses on UiPath Academy that I have done.
Okay. And in this 4 years of experience, all of that is in UiPath only, right? 3.9 or close
Right,
to 4 years, right? How many
right.
projects have you automated in this span?
I have automated 10 plus projects.
And I believe all of
Whole,
them would be
yeah,
end to end, right?
yeah, right, end to end, and those are on production.
Okay. I want you to talk about any one of the project, right? Maybe the recent one or whichever you are comfortable talking about. Talk me through the problem statement. What was the automation
Okay.
all about? What were the application involved? And then I'll ask my next set of questions.
Okay, sure. The project which I have worked currently, it is for the splash report. Means the client, they are generating one splash report on daily basis.
Mm,
So the problem statement is that they were sending one report over an email on daily basis.
mm,
That report were containing the purchase order number and the order number
mm,
for the so we have to fetch that purchase order number, and they have one application. The name of that application is GOMS. So we have to log into their application using their credentials.
mm,
After logging, we are fetching that data, the order number and purchase order number. So first we are fetching order number and putting order number to their screen. So as we put the order number and save that order number, the next we'll navigate to the next screen, that is for the purchase order number. So there we have to put the purchase order number. When we press enter, the whole overall information regarding that purchase order, it means it will show that overall information on that page. So the thing is, they were checking for the release only, so we have to check for that the release date for that particular purchase order number.
Hmm.
So if they have certain conditions, we have to check the date, and we have to decide that if the date is today's date, then we have to release that particular order, purchase order. If not, then we have to say we don't have to release that order. And there were some business exception, like we there one field that is shipping order. If that shipping order will contain anything, means any number rather than zero, then also we have to raise an business exception that this order is already being picked or shipped. So like after changing date, we were saving that data, and finally we were generating one summary report with those order number, purchase order number, and one column added like the status. If we have changed the date for that particular PO, then we were in that status we were writing that the release date is changed and the PO purchase order is released. And if not, if there is an exception like they were mentioned, if there it is already being shipped or picked, like this we were mentioning, and then finally we were sending that report to them over an email.
Understood.
So
Uh, this is built on transactional processing, right? I see that it's having a lot of PO numbers, so I believe it would be a transactional processing, correct?
dispatcher and performer I am using. Dispatcher is for the means
Hmm.
that Excel we were sending, and one by one we are fetching PO and order numbers from in
So what
performer
are the
bot.
details you are adding to the queue? Is it a queue or
We
you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a queue. We were means requiring only two columns, order number and purchase order number, those
Okay.
only two.
Fine. And where do you get this order number? And you are having this in the Excel, right? And where do you get this
Yeah.
Excel?
Oh, on Outlook.
Outlook, right? Now,
Mm.
how is the dispatcher scheduled?
A queue based trigger means like as the data is added into the
No,
queue.
no, dispatcher. That would be the performer, right? That as soon as the items are added, it will
Haha,
trigger.
right.
What about the dispatcher?
Dispatcher, as per their timing, we are scheduled it into the morning. Means they were sending the Excel at nearly about 10.
Hmm.
So after 10, I think at 12 p.m. we have scheduled that one.
Okay, so 12 p.m. your dispatcher will go and it will read the items and load to the queue. Okay. Now, tell me one thing. Uh, let's say 12 p.m. you tried to
Mhm.
run the dispatcher and there is no email. There's no Excel. What happens to the process?
Like we have done the means exception handling there. If
Hmm.
we don't found any email
Hmm.
into the mailbox, then it is sending like one notification mail to user and to our bot as well, that we the Excel file is not there.
Okay, and now let's say by mistake on some day
Mhm.
the business send you 5 emails, same email 5 times,
Mhm.
right? So I was supposed to share one email, but somebody sent 5 emails to you, right?
Mhm.
Now, how would the robot know which one is the correct email?
So means like I'm using data Outlook mail message.
Hmm.
We were shifting that mail to the one folder
Hmm.
which we have created by the account name.
Hmm.
So in that I'm means on, as we know that we are receiving only one mail, so I have given one condition to read only one top mail.
Hmm.
In top I have specified to read only one mail, and which is unread. And after
Okay,
reading that mail, I'm marking it as unread.
understood. But let's say
Mm-hmm.
by mistake somebody sent an email, but they forgot to attach the Excel.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so Mukesh was sending an email and I forgot to attach the Excel, right? What happens to your automation now? It will fail.
Uh, yeah, so for that also, like when we don't have an attachment in folder, so it won't run. So
Hmm.
like we don't have an Excel file
Hmm.
to upload into the queue item, so they are also in cache block. We are putting that we don't have an Excel file for the processing. So a robot is failed to upload the data onto the queue. Likewise, the notification will get.
Okay, now I have a different question, right? So let's say uh, I am your business who is supposed to send an email, right? Mukesh.
Mhm.
So I was supposed to send an email by 12 p.m., right? And I went on vacation. So I have
Mhm.
one colleague with me, right? The
Mhm.
colleague name is, let's say, Manas. Now Manas is
Mhm.
sending the same email to you, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
what would happen to your robot? Would it run or
As
would it
we
not run?
actually we are not reading mail by the sender name. We are reading by the subject line. If that sender is following the same subject line, then there is no impact for the robot. It will run.
Okay. And but let's say I send an email where the subject is correct, but the attachment is wrong.
Okay, like in attachment name, if attachment name is wrong, or that means for the if in Excel file if there is no data, so that was also
Yes.
handled. But
Hmm,
if like you are saying attach me means I have not handled for the name, means for the file name.
hmm.
Yeah, so in that case also we have to do the proper exception handling. Need to check for the name as well, the Excel file name which we are getting.
Okay. Now, if I understand it, you are generating a business exception, right? Which activity we are using to throw the business exception?
uh, we were using throw, and in that we are creating the customized exception like new
Hmm,
business rule exception, and in curly braces we were
hmm.
sorry, in double quotes we were specifying the customized message, like whatever we want to, like this we are failed because the file is not there. The robot got failed because QR items are not added to the queue. Likewise we can
Okay,
send.
fine. So let's say you have added 50 items to the queue, right? 50.
Haha.
Okay, so 50 items are added to the queue. Now your performer is not working.
Mhm.
It has got some issues. It has got some exception. It's not working at all.
Okay.
Monday, your bot added 50 items. So now it is Tuesday or maybe the next week, right? Let's say Tuesday. Tuesday, the
Mhm.
robot will again go and read the same Excel, right?
Yeah.
And then it will create
Uh,
duplicate items in the queue.
haha.
How do you handle that?
Okay. If means if the bot is not run on Monday and it
Uh-huh.
runs on Tuesday,
Correct.
and if items are added to the queue and it has more than 24 hours now,
Hmm.
so those items will get in abundant state. Those transaction item, but for the duplicates we can set we can set an reference,
Hmm.
unique
Okay.
reference.
Okay. Tell me one thing. Whenever we add the data first time to the queue, right? What is the status of the items?
When we are adding the status will be the new, and when we are means using the get transaction activity, it is changed to the in progress.
In progress. Okay. Okay, fine. So we have added, let's say 50, 100 items to the queue. You have added it and now we are processing, right?
Mhm.
How much time does it take to process one item?
Less than 30-40 seconds.
Okay, less than 30, 40 seconds, right?
Mhm.
And how many items you are adding? Approximately.
20 to 30 maximum.
So your automation is running close to 15 minutes, right?
Ha,
15 or 20 minutes your automation is working, right?
right.
Okay, 15 to 20 minutes. Now, uh,
Mhm.
let's say both of all these items are completed successfully. Okay,
Mhm.
so your all the items are processed successfully. Now I am your business team and I am
Mhm.
from this I am a business team and I want to know that what is the status of the items, right? So let's say you have added 30 items. Out of the 30, 20 are successful, 10 got system
Mhm.
exception, 10 got business exception, right? So I want a summary.
Mhm.
I just want a plain Excel which says that, hey Mukesh, you have 50 items, 50 POs. Out of the 50 PO, 30 got successful. These are the PO which was having this challenge, and these are the PO which the robot was not able to process. Right?
Okay.
How can I get such report? Understood the question?
Yeah, I got your question. The set sorry, set transaction status is there, right?
Yeah.
So with that with set transaction status, we can get for the particular for that particular transaction item. If it is successful, so it is giving the successful. If any exception occur, though, in so we'll get the business exception occur. So those we can then add it into the we were creating one column in Excel file, and that we were then writing into the that Excel file.
Okay. So every time I will go, I will open an Excel, I will write the data like that.
No, we were automating, like means
Uh-huh.
after in
Hmm.
code itself.
Hmm.
Lastly, we were adding set transaction status. So in that
Hmm.
transaction status, will get that for that transaction it is successful. For that transaction it is it there is an exception. So
Okay.
immediately after that, we were writing one scenario, one code in right
Okay.
range
And
in
where
that
will I
column.
keep this Excel?
Will We can keep this Excel at any local folder, and along with along with that report, we can share that summary report as well to them.
Okay, so that Excel is stored in some, let's say, location, right? I am your business user. Your
Mm-hmm.
robot was working. It is working for
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes, right? So your robot
Mm-hmm.
started, it started putting the data in the Excel. I went to the sheet and I deleted the Excel.
Okay.
Now, you two things has happened, right? The first thing is whatever status you have written back to the Excel is lost,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because somebody deleted. The second thing is
Mm-hmm.
for the new transaction, the Excel is not there, right? Because somebody deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
How can we handle this?
Uh, that Excel is on our local, so
Which local? When you deploy
local
it to
system.
production,
Uh-huh. Local
would it
means on
still,
server.
will it
On
still
server,
create which server?
the production server. We have an access where we are storing the our config files and all
Okay.
in that folder.
And who is then, how would the business user access that Excel, right? That is on the server, right? Who
Yeah,
is going?
we
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
sorry, like I said, like on daily basis we are sending one splash report to them. Likewise, along with that, we were sending summary report to them. For like suppose we got 10 items on today, so
Hmm.
for those 10 items we were sending the status for the except like for the status that these were successful, these were failed due to system, or these were failed due to the business exception. Like
Okay. Okay. Got it. Uh, I see that you have mentioned document understanding in your resume.
yeah, means I have not done end-to-end process, but I have started learning DU as well.
Okay. So you are learning, right? So you have not done any project.
No, means for the practice purpose, some mini projects I have done,
Mhm.
and pro means in production I have saw some processes and like
Okay.
this.
Okay. I see on your resume you have mentioned something which is on VBA macros, right? Can you tell me the activity which you use to invoke the macros,
Execute macro activity.
right? Execute macro, right? Now,
Mhm.
why that activity is required, right? In UiPath, if I have to do something on Excel, I can use the direct activities, right? So let's say I have to color the cell, I have to copy paste the data. I have activities, right? What is the
Mhm.
scenario that I have to go and use macros, right? Why you are using macros? Because I believe everything can be done with the help of activities, right? No? What do you think?
Yeah, yes. Actually, we can do means for the Excel automation, we have the lots of activities to
Right.
perform, but sometime if we means like in my process in other I have mentioned one project.
Mm-hmm.
So in that I am getting lots of transaction item there,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to filter that transaction item based on one column. So the region I have to choose is for the NAO region. So when I am applying filter, sometime that file is getting crash, and or sometime means the data is not getting filtered properly.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case only I have used macro. Like there is an option to recording, like record the macro, so I have used that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so it works for me as an means workaround, so it works for me. So that's why I have used macro there for filtering the Excel file.
But for filtering the data, I can read the complete data in a data table and then I can use the filter data table activity, right?
Right. Yeah. So I have
Then,
used that one
yeah.
only in first time. But as I told, means my file is getting crash, and means I'm not getting the proper
Mm.
output
Okay.
of that only. So as an workaround, I have to find out something. So I have used macro there.
Okay. Understood. And what about this API, right? Which API you have used in which project? I can see that you have mentioned that implementing API in your path project, right? Which API you have used?
Yeah, like I'm learning document understanding and API. So like on web APIs that I have means I'm learning that we have some methods: get, post, delete.
Okay. And which activity I'm using to invoke the APIs?
Invoke APIs. We are using HTTP request
Mm-hmm.
to send and request to the web application, to the web.
Hmm. Okay.
So it is generating one JSON string, one
Mm-hmm.
Java object file JSON string.
Hmm.
So to convert that JSON string into the object, JSON object, we are
Hmm.
using deserialized JSON activity. So where
Okay.
we are passing a JSON string as an input and getting JSON object as an output.
Okay, so I have one scenario based question for you, right? So let's say I have an
Mhm.
Excel. Okay, in that
Mhm.
Excel, I have 100 rows. Okay,
Mhm.
so my idea is that from that 100 rows, I want to split that Excel into 10 different Excel sheets. So I have a single
Okay.
Excel, which is sheet one that is having 100 rows of data. I want to create 10
Mhm.
Excels, 1 to 10,
Okay.
11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40 into 10 different Excel
Mhm.
sheets, right?
Mhm.
Which activity I can use and how can I do it?
Uh, we have the split function. So with the help of that split, and we can specify mm, the
And where
separator
you would use this split function?
in split. Mm, built in while building data table.
Are you sure? And which activity will allow me to do that?
uh, s- uh, we can use the split function, but how?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, we can split by the column names.
No, that's fine. I understand that. Yes, we can do the split, right? That's what the answer, right? But in UiPath, I have to use some activity, right? As you told me, get ST. What activity I will use to do the split? I cannot simply say that, okay, do the split, right?
Right. mm, I don't remind. I
That's
need
fine.
to check.
Okay, no problem. Uh, I have one more question for you. Let's say I have a string. Okay.
Hmm.
The string is something like my name is Mukesh.
Hmm.
Okay. It's a simple string. My name is Mukesh. That's it, right?
Hmm.
One string. Now I want to get the name out of this string. Someday the
Hmm.
string could be something like this. My name is Gayatri. So the output
Hmm.
should be Gayatri. If say it
Hmm.
says my name is Harsha, the output should be Harsha. If it says my
Hmm.
name is Mukesh Kala, it should say Mukesh Kala, right?
Hmm.
Which activity, how can I write such logic to get only that name?
We can use substring.
Okay, and then what would be the output of substring?
Like the name, the variable where we have stored this one, then substring.
Yeah, what
And
kind of variable that would be?
suppose in string variable we
Uh-huh.
are storing this, my name is Mukesh.
Uh-huh.
So string dot substring, in that we were specifying the index from, like my name is, this one
Hmm.
is fixed, this
Hmm. Hmm.
the sentence is fixed, so zero
Hmm.
1 2 3 4 5, like 8 comma from, then the
Hmm.
next digit, so we'll get the Mukesh only, the name,
But
whatever
if
the.
let's say you have something two space in the name, right? So let's say if I say somebody is coming like Manas space, let's say Patil, right? So Manas space Patil, right? So then in that case you have more spaces, right? So
Mhm,
your index will go. Any
mhm,
different approach you can think of. And first of all, right, when you do the substring, right, what would be the
mhm.
output of doing this substring?
We can get the specific mean, we can get the specific,
Hmm.
like uh
In
specific name,
which
like
variable you will get it?
in string only.
In string only. Okay, okay. Fine. So that's it, Harsa. That was my last question for you. Okay. Let's come to your feedback. Okay. Before I give my feedback, what do you think? How was your interview?
uh, 50-50.
Okay. And what do you think? If it is a real-time interview, would you be selected or what do you think?
Mm,
How did you perform? See, as an candidate, right, we always know how did I perform. What do you think? How
yeah,
did you perform? Can
I
you do
means
better?
I, yeah, I can do.
Yeah. Okay, so let me come to your feedback, right? See, you have given me this project and everything. It was fine, right?
Mhm,
But I think somewhere you are struggling in the technical questions, right? You have given
mhm,
me implementations question wrong, and a lot of things you have just mentioned which are not correct. I'll tell you some of
okay.
that. So,
Mhm,
first question which you have answered, not question, is that you have told me that after 24 hours the items would will mark as abundant,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So when you add item first time to the queue, it will be added as new.
Right.
And only the in progress items are marked to abundant, right? New items are never
Mhm.
marked to abundant.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the first, kind of, it's a very basic thing, right?
Mhm,
So that was kind of a point that where I felt like, okay, then I need to ask more on the framework and all, right? Then the second
mhm,
is your implementation where you say that, hey, I am just reading the top one email, right?
mhm,
That's not correct, right? If you think technically, it's
mhm.
not correct, right? That top one email I am reading. Ideally, how the implementation should be that you go to the mailbox, you first
Mhm.
validate the sender. If the sender
Okay.
is correct, not correct, then you go and validate the subject. Then you
Yeah.
validate whether the attachment name is correct. If the attachment name is
Mhm,
correct, then you validate the content. If the content is
mhm.
correct, then you put the data, right? So it's a 4 5 level
Mhm.
check. By just checking
Yeah.
that, okay, I'll read the top email, it can be anything, right? Wrong
Right.
Excel, wrong sender, wrong subject, right?
Mhm,
So that was also not correct, right? The good
mhm,
part was you have given me this question, a different approach, that how can I get the report? You can get the report directly by putting it to the server and saving into the thing, right? That is good.
mhm,
Uh, when it came to again the technical question like split, right?
mhm.
So you have read range activity in UiPath, right? That will give you the complete data
Yes.
table, right?
Right.
Now I can simply use an assign activity and do this splitting, right? So you can do this split. There is some nothing called split. This is a uh, when I have to do the split, I have to do with the help of link queues, or I can do with the help of built-in activities of UiPath, right? But when you say that,
Yeah.
hey, I'll do the split, but I don't know which activity, does not make sense for a 4 years experience, right?
Yeah.
And then the other question, the scenario based question, right? I can simply split it by space. My name
Yeah.
is, split it by space, and whatever is coming after is, that is your name.
Okay.
right? Instead of the
Yeah.
index, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I
Mhm.
can simply say that, okay, index is also fine. Index is also good. That's not a problem. But let's say, uh, when I say that my name is, so I can always
Mhm.
split is by space where I say that, okay, whatever you find after is, that is your name, right?
Yeah.
Different approach, but you can suggest the approaches, right? So I think somewhere you are not confident on the your theoretical part is good. I can see that you have mentioned good theory, whatever you have mentioned, right? I have some of the feedbacks on your resume. Okay, when you are
Mhm.
sending the CV, I see you have
Mhm.
sent it in the Word format, right? But when I'm opening the CV, it has getting a lot of spaces, right? So whenever you are sending the CV, make sure you share it as a PDF format.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so that the formatting does not go here and there. The second thing is I
Mhm.
see spelling mistakes in your resume. Okay,
Okay.
which is not good. You have
Mhm.
mentioned UiPath incorrectly in a lot of places. The
Yeah.
third thing is I do not see much of the technical stuff on your resume. You have mentioned the project and everything. I think that with the project you should also mention that what technology you have all mentioned the target application, right? But
Uh-huh.
your resume has no skills or no tools which are related to RPA
Yeah.
Studio, Orchestrator. You are using RE
Okay.
framework. You are using, let's say, this link queue, databases, document
Okay.
understanding. I don't see any of those, right?
Mhm.
What would happen is, I'll tell you why I'm telling you to add those. Whenever, let's
Mhm.
say, when you talk about the sourcing portals like Naukri.com, Monster.com, or any of these hiring tools, right? Companies have hiring tool. So what those
Mhm.
do is they will go to a resume and look for those keywords in the resume, right?
Right.
So your resume do not have a keyword, so chances are there that your resume might not get ever picked up for opportunity, right?
Okay.
Because your resume do not have those keywords of RPA,
Right.
right? So you need to work on your resume and
Mhm.
get certified, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I would suggest do the advanced certification, right? Because
Mhm.
till the time you plan, you would close to 5 years of experience, then their associate won't make sense, right? For a 5 years
Yes.
experience, you should prepare for the advanced developer programmer ADP, right?
Yes.
So you should plan for the ADP certification. And yeah, that's it. Over to you if you have any questions. And how was your feedback?
Yeah, actually, thank you for your timing and for the feedback. I'll work on those points surely.
Okay. And do you think it was helpful, this session?
Yeah, yeah, very helpful. I means I got where I'm weak and I'll work on those points.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you then.
Yeah,
Have a good
yeah,
day.
thank you so much.
Bye.
Yes, bye bye.
Okay, so that is all for this video. I would like to wrap this video here. I hope this was insightful. If you have any more questions, any more doubts, feel free to write me in the comments, or you can also drop me an email as well. I would appreciate your feedback on the video and tell me in the comments what would be the next topic or next video you want to see. So with that, I would wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel and happy automation.